Imagine standing at 28,000 feet, where every breath feels like fire, your fingers are black from frostbite, and the only sound is the howling wind. Now imagine dozens of people, climbers just like you, walking right past as you sit freezing, unable to move, begging in your mind for help that never comes. This isn't a horror movie. This is what happened to David Sharp on Mount Everest in 2006. His story isn't just about a mountain claiming another life. It's about choices, loneliness, and the brutal question: when does ambition become too dangerous, and when does survival mean walking away from someone who needs you? David Sharp was born in 1972 in a quiet town in England called Harpenden. He wasn't born rich or famous, but he had a fire inside him for adventure. As a kid, he loved hiking and climbing anything he could find. By his 20s, he was tackling big mountains. David wasn't a show-off. He was steady, smart, and tough. He climbed Kilimanjaro in Africa, Elbrus in Russia, and other high peaks. Twice before, he tried Mount Everest, the highest mountain on Earth at 29,029 feet, and both times he had to turn back. Those failures didn't break him. They made him more determined. In 2006, at age 34, David decided this was his year. "If I don't do it this time, I'm not coming back," he told friends. He wanted to climb Everest his way, alone, without a big team, without relying on others. He signed up with a budget company called Asian Trekking. It was a low-service deal. They got him to base camp with a permit, some food, tents, and oxygen bottles. But after that, he was on his own. No personal Sherpa guide. No radio to call for help. No satellite phone. Just 2 small oxygen bottles. Far less than most climbers carry. David believed in pushing limits. He didn't think climbing with extra help was a real challenge. He wanted the pure experience. Man against mountain. He trained hard, packed light, and headed to Tibet's north side of Everest. The Northeast Ridge route is wild and beautiful, but it's also one of the deadliest. David didn't care. This was his shot at the top of the world. Everest's north side is harsh from the start. Climbers trek across rocky plains, cross rivers, and fight freezing winds to reach advanced base camp at about 21,000 feet. David moved steadily, acclimating his body to the thin air. He chatted with other independent climbers in his loose group, people like him, paying for the basics and climbing solo style. By early May, the team was high up. The death zone starts around 26,000 feet. Above that, your body can't recover. Brain cells die slowly. Judgment fades. Hands shake. Every step costs more energy than you have. David's plan was bold. He set out for the summit on May 14th from a high camp on the Northeast Ridge. He carried minimal gear, his 2 oxygen bottles, warm clothes, ice axe, crampons, no backup. He pushed upward through the night, past rocky steps and icy slopes. The climb was long and brutal. The Hillary step-like features on this side are tricky. Weather turned bad. Winds picked up. Clouds rolled in. David kept going. Some climbers later thought they saw someone matching his description near the top late in the day. Did he reach the summit? No one knows for sure. His camera was never found. But he was high, way past the safe turnaround time of 2 p.m. Night fell while he was still descending. Exhaustion hit hard. His oxygen ran low or out. Frostbite started eating his fingers and toes. The cold was minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit or worse with wind. He needed shelter. So he crawled into a small rocky alcove, a shallow cave known as Green Boots Cave. Why Green Boots? Because since 1996, a frozen body in bright green mountaineering boots has sat there, a grim landmark for climbers. David huddled next to it, arms wrapped around his knees, trying to stay warm. He was at about 28,000 feet. Too high, too cold, too alone. David Sharp didn't die right away. He sat there through the freezing night of May 14th into May 15th, 2006. His body was shutting down, hypothermia creeping in, possible cerebral edema, brain swelling from altitude, frostbite turning limbs numb. Around 1 a.m., the first climbers spotted him. A group on their way up saw a man in the cave, huddled, still, but maybe alive. They thought he was already gone, like so many frozen bodies on Everest. They kept moving toward the summit. As dawn came, more climbers passed. Up to 40 or more, some heading up, some coming down from their own summits. They saw him clearly now, sitting upright, face blackened by frostbite, arms frozen in place. He was alive, barely, breathing shallow, unable to stand, even when people tried to help. One Sherpa from a nearby team stopped. He tried to give David oxygen and pull him up. David could barely speak. His last words were quiet and heartbreaking. "My name is David Sharp. I'm with Asian Trekking, and I just want to sleep." The Sherpa radioed for advice, but moving a completely immobile person at that altitude is nearly impossible. It takes several strong people just to drag someone a few feet. Helicopter rescue? Not possible this high. The air is too thin for rotors. No one could carry him down alone. Other groups paused briefly. One included Mark Inglis, a famous double amputee climber summiting that day. They radioed base camp. "What do we do?" The advice came back. "Keep moving. Save yourselves. In the death zone, stopping too long kills you too." So they left. Climbers walked past, focused on their own survival. David stayed in the cave, next to Green Boots, as the sun rose and set again. He froze slowly, alone. When news reached the world, people were shocked and angry. How could over 40 climbers pass a dying man and do nothing? Headlines screamed, "Left to die on Everest." Sir Edmund Hillary, the first man to summit Everest in 1953, called it shameful. He said climbers should abandon their summit to help someone in trouble. But others defended the climbers. Mark Inglis and his team said Sharp was already beyond help. Too frozen, too far gone. Dragging him would have killed more people. One Sherpa did try, but it was hopeless. Sharp chose to climb solo, with no support, no extra oxygen, late start. He knew the risks. The debate raged. Does a climber have a moral duty to stop and help, even if it risks their life? Or is Everest's rule, every person for themselves, in the death zone? David's solo style, no team, no radio, meant no one was tracking him. He was unreachable from the start. Some blamed the commercialization of Everest. Too many people, too much pressure to summit. Others said David made his choice. Go light, go alone, accept the danger. His body stayed in the cave for years, becoming another landmark. Later, it was moved slightly higher up the ridge out of respect, but it remains on the mountain, too dangerous to bring down. David Sharp died on May 15, 2006, at 34 years old. He was strong, experienced, and brave. He chased a dream the hard way and paid the ultimate price. His story isn't just tragedy, it's a warning. Everest doesn't care about your plans or your courage. It punishes mistakes harshly. Going solo with minimal gear is like playing Russian roulette at extreme altitude. No backup means no second chance. Today, climbers still talk about David. Some expeditions now require better support, radios, and oxygen plans. The Green Boots Cave reminds everyone. Ambition is powerful, but so is humility. Sometimes, turning back is the bravest choice. David wanted to stand on top alone. He may have made it, or come heartbreakingly close. But in the end, the mountain won. His death sparked questions that have no easy answers. How much should we risk for others? When is helping impossible? And how far will we go for a dream? David Sharp's name lives on, not as a failure, but as a reminder. The roof of the world is beautiful and deadly. Climb it if you dare. But never forget, you're never truly alone up there. Or are you?